Hello, good morning. Today is my son's birthday. I believe he turned 30. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to ask him. But I'm gonna bake him a cake, and I need to get rid of these bananas and do something with them. So I'm gonna be making some banana bread too. So, and then after we're gonna go down and get packages. I want to see if more come before I go down there to get them this early, and then we'll go through some more samples. But right now I'm going to bake a cake, and you can stick around if you want. I have goals like daily heart me's. That would be awesome if I could get people to join my live, so that when I'm on live, y'all can just join me all the time, because I still have lots of stories to tell about lots of interesting things. But let me go ahead and put these dishes away so that we can get started on the cake. Okay? You stick you up here on my Magic John. See how this works? Sticks to the cupboard, sticks to everything. So I can have it up like this, right? Hello. The kittens are being little mittens today. Got their little paws on everything. So let me just put this there. So I like baking my son. It's a chocolate cake. And of course, chocolate frosting. Chocolate on chocolate. Yummy, yummy. And banana bread, of course, because I need to get rid of these bananas. But I got 3 and then 2. So I think I might be able to make two things of banana bread today. So put that there. Wipe off this countertop. So I don't know if you guys have seen my most recent post. They're like my true life stories of things that I've been through in life. But I don't know if you're familiar with the Josh Powell and the Susan Powell, where his wife came up missing, and then he ended up, blowing up his house, and with him and his kids in it, just so that nobody could find her, apparently. But we don't know, because that's all allegedly, because they couldn't find her and they couldn't get him to talk. So, but I personally believe very strongly that he had help, and I was actually in the presence of the majority of those that would have helped him. And so anyways, the story about it is on my page, but I've got part 5 up, and I've got like a 6 and a 7 and an 8, and that's going to continue. But then I have other things in my life that I went through as well that I'm also going to share, because this is where I can voice my voice, when before I tried to voice it and nobody would listen to me, because they couldn't understand, so they blew me off, or they didn't have all the evidence, or they checked it out, or they didn't do their job, or just whatever. But yeah, so she's still missing, and I have very strong idea of where she could be. And every time I've tried to let anybody know that, and the authorities, even up high in the FBI, they just say now that, well, since Josh and his dad's gone, basically all we would need to do is find her body for closure. Well, then find her body for closure, or what if she's still alive? So I just have my thoughts about what happened with the situation, so I'm sharing them. And also, I was there the day after his wife supposedly disappeared or left him. He came into the bar establishment that I worked at, and he was staring at the TVs like he was, wanted to see what the TV had. He looked like he saw a ghost, basically. So anyways, the story's over on my page. You can check it out then. You can check it out now. Check it out later. But right now, I am going to bake my son a cake. I need to get rid of these bananas because I have those little fruit flies that are in here and they're obnoxious. So, bananas do that. But we were going to go up to a friend's house this weekend and they love my banana bread. So I was going to make them each a loaf, right? So that she could have one, he could have one, so they don't want to have to split it. So we bought a lot of bananas so that I could make 2 loaves of banana bread. And ended up that my nan went back to work. Yay! 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 Thank God, no. So he had a knee surgery, and so he was healing from knee surgery. And then it, got close to where he was getting, really, really better and stuff. And he was like, well, I think I can go back. So he called one of the foremen or the leads, and they put him on. He's an iron worker, so, that's hard stuff. And he has to have a good body in order to do that because it's hard work. So anyways, that's what he did. So that 3 months, he was kind of driving me a little nuts. And I told him that. You men get bored, you do some weird shit. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, so, since I'm not tall enough and I don't want to get the ladder. See that? You didn't see that. I have these. I'm only 5'3", but the cupboard's like 1, 2, 3 up here. So this is how I get stuff out of the cupboard. Alright, so... Of course, we have our Pillsbury. Aww. I want to see if I can reach that cake way back there. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I almost lost it. And then I got, of course, Pillsbury. Very, very, very handy with my hands. Yeah, I'm like Belfraya tongue hands. Just put those back there. We'll do the banana bread after because the banana bread cooks for 1 hour. But it only takes 15 minutes to make. Yeah. Alright. Plug this phone in so I don't have another episode of the oh hi, I'm really up close here, ain't I? Hi. I got that from my daughter-in-law. She says hi like that. Hi. I lived with her a long time. I talk to her. You know how you start hanging out with someone or you talk to someone or whatever. And then all of a sudden you just start doing the same thing they're doing. Not that you're meaning to copy them. It just kind of stuck with me. But it's better than saying hi. My girl. You want to sound cute when you say hi? But usually I say hi. Hi. And then I threw in a little hi. Hi. Alright. Sorry. I get a little crazy sometimes. And the more you get to know me, the weirder I get. I got the cats right underneath of me because they love me so, so much. And I love them. Yeah. Alright. So, we got this wonderful green bowl. See the bowl? This is a bowl that my man's friend left before he left to move home, where his wifey was. We're going to give it a little rinse, just because I like things rinsed. I need to put on my extra eyes. And it's even traditional. Look at that. Yummy. I have not had cake or sweets for maybe like 3 months. I'm on a, a low sugar diet. A no sugar diet, unless it's in stuff. But since today is my son's birthday and he's going to call me and we're going to FaceTime, I'm going to have a cake ready because he's in Utah and I'm in California. So we're going to have a little happy birthday song, and then maybe I'll let one of the kitty cats put out the candle. No, I'll blow it out for him. It's okay. So I'm going to need 1 cup of water, a half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. All right, so this is why these come in very handy. So I need 1 cup. 1 cup. Put that in the bowl. And then we got a half a cup. Oh yeah, we definitely have oil. I don't even know why I'm checking. I haven't used the oil in such a long time. Whoa. That I forgot we had oil. We have like a whole bunch of oil. And not motor oil. Va-va-va-vroom. 3 eggs. So this is wonderful. So I use tap water, which is fine if you're in an area where you can drink tap water, right? So we're gonna go 1 cup of water. Water. A little bit spilled, so let me just get a little bit more. Oh, okay. And then we're gonna go a half a cup of oil. That is half a cup. So I gotta come over here. Hey kitties, why don't you entertain where did we put the oil? Do you know where we put the oil, young man? Young man? Do you know where it is, young man? Oof. My cats are in my way, but I love them so much. So when you see the oil container, you're going to be like, oh yeah, she's got oil. I need you out of the way. I don't know what you're in here for. You're just a little mister. Come on. You're just always in the way. And I love you. Come on now. He's like, please make me part of the recipe. And I'm like, no. See, we have oil. We have a big old jug of oil. So, yeah, we have enough oil. Before that, I think what I'm going to do is put the cake mix in there. I got the fan on, and with the fan being on, it's blowing my little strands of hair. We all know how we make the cake, right? I'm going to put that in there. Make sure this is the half a cup and not the 3/4 cup. Okay, so it's the half a cup. Pour this in here. Here, I'll even do this. Here. Voila! Alright, so we got the oil in there. Now I can put the oil back. Young man, get over here. Go entertain TikTok. Hold on. Honey, you don't need to be in here. Terrorist! Okay, leave that alone. Mommy needs to put this here, and Mommy also needs to put this here. Okay. we're back. Let me rinse my hands because I had to move my kitten. He's definitely got a very characteristic personality. The white one that I have, the white kitten. He's so funny. Like, he'll jump in the shower while I'm showering. This cat is not afraid of water. He's not. He's not afraid of water. He's like territorial, so everything's his territory, kind of territory, you know. Like I have 3 eggs. What is that you find? Excuse me, now you're in the way of the fridge door. He's so funny. Like, he understands stuff too. Like, I'll be like I call him like a puppy. I'm like, come here, buddy. And he'll come, right? Because I trained him to come to that noise. Or I'll be like, hey, bud. And he'll look at me and I'll say, you can jump up here on the bed if you want. Come up here and hang out with us. And then he will. He'll come jump up on the bed and he'll come and hang out with us. There's a story behind this cat. I don't know if you're familiar with familiars and like spiritual animals or maybe even shapeshifters. I'm not sure. But, you know, I know a lot of stuff. I just don't know everything. But I had this dream and it was like, I know what I can do. Let me take this off, and I'm going to put this up higher. Like, nope, that's not going to work. Up higher, right there. And I stick it there. And so, yeah. So, I have this dream, and it's kind of like, visit a place in my dream that it was like a rehab center or a group home, something like that, where there was like a lot of people that are waiting, and there was like beds and stuff in some areas and like couches and stuff, but it was kind of like a hospital without having a bunch of nurses and stuff. But there was no babies. There was teenagers, no toddlers, no kids. But there was teenagers, there was adults, there was no elderly, and there was like some older adults, okay? And then I kind of was just like observing the place is what I was doing in my dream, like I do with a lot of my dreams. I observe them. And so I was like talking to some people that were around there, and I sat down on this couch, and this dog comes running in, and he's just a little small dog, and I can hear his owner saying, where are you? Come back, da 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 da. You know, it's like, you know, like here, blah blah blah. Like, come on, let's go, whatever. And so this dog didn't listen to him, and it ran in from the outside into where I was sitting. And it was like right like by my legs where I was sitting. This is in my dream. And there was just a small dog. And so I picked the dog up. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I picked it up in order to catch the dog, really. So that I can give it to them when they come in to get their dog. And so that's what happened. And so the person that owned the dog said to the dog, now why would you run to a stranger and not come with me? That's what he said to this dog, right? He's like, I don't get it. Like, come on, let's go. And I was like, here you go. And they're like, thank you. Da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I just kind of was looking around. It's like I was a visitor there. It wasn't like I was just, that I belonged there. I just was like a visitor there. Just, yeah. So then I walk in, and it's like a kitchen sitting area. And there's this white cat. and it has a big body. It was kind of like a kitten, maybe about his age, you know, like my white cat's age. But he had a big body and a small head, kind of like a Beetlejuice thing, right? And I picked it up and I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And the cat just looked at me, and it looked around, you know, like cats do, just like, you know, it was just being a cat. And then it said in English, in like a deep voice, and it said, "You know, as long as I've been here, and none of these people know my real name." This is what this cat said to me in my dream. White cat. And I said, "What's your real name?" And he says, "Oh, you can understand me?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "My name's Shirley." Kind of like a little Nicky thing, right? And I was like, "Okay, you know." And then I think I just kind of held on to the cat for a bit. And then I don't know if I put it down and then left, or maybe I just woke up. I'm not sure, because I can't really remember anything after that. And I just know that the cat was surprised that I could understand it, right? And it had a male voice and all that. So after I had that dream, I woke up and I told my man about it, because we always share each other's dreams. Like, "I had a weird dream last night," or "This is this dream that I had last night. I gotta listen to this." So anyways, I told him about the dream about the white cat named Shirley. So it was like stuck in my head. And I wasn't ever thinking about getting a white cat, but then I was thinking I like to have all my animals like white or something like that. It's just one of those things. I always like the white tigers and whatnot, stuff like that. Get down, young man. Right down. I'm going to show everybody what you're doing. And Dad's going to see it. Okay. Little stinker. He got up on his dad's nightstand, and then he was like reaching up trying to get on top of the dresser. That's what he was doing. And I said, "Oh, young man," and he looked at me like this, and I said, "Get down, I'm going to show everybody what's going on." And he did. He got down. See, he listens. So we was out driving around, and this is funny. We were down over by the shelter. I told my man, I was like, "Should we just go visit the animals over here at the shelter and like just look around and see what they got or something, just for something to do?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure," because he like loves animals too. And so we go there, and the first thing we see is this tiny little kitten, and it's like probably 5 or 6 weeks old. That's how small it was, and it was black. And it was jumping around. It was just being funny and silly and whatever. And my man looks right at me and he says, "Yes." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yes." So in other words, he was saying, "Yes, we can get that cat." It's funny. So I was like, "All right." So I go, "Well, let's just walk around," because I wasn't really wanting to get a kitten right away, because, you know, we have like a small place and whatnot. And I was like, "Is it going to be a good decision for us to get a kitten? I mean, do we have the money for it right now? Because it's going to cost $200, you know." And then on top of it, it's $200, and it's a buy one get one free, because they say that having 2 kittens, it's better and healthier for them, and they're happier. And they don't tear stuff up in your house. So if you're going to get 1, get 2. So I was like, all right, so let's go walking around. And so I was actually looking for a white cat. I was looking for Shirley, because I was like, this has got to be some kind of a sign or something. So we're walking around because we want to see if there's like a second cat, because if we get 1 cat, we're going to get 2 cats, you know. So I was like, so we're going to just have to do this. So we checked in at the front. And when you check in at the front, what you do is you stand in line so you can hold the kitten, play with the kitten, and then possibly adopt the kitten or whatever animal's there. That's just what they do. You get in line. So we did. We put our names down, and we had like maybe 20 or 40 minutes to wait. It's their owl toy. Let's move it over there. So we go walking through and whatnot, and then I'm like, we got all the way through, and I just really talked to myself. I don't think it's really a good time for us to be getting any animals, because we got to get through some stuff, and our place isn't big enough, and they're really just going to trash our stuff. You know, they're going to rip stuff apart. They're going to grow. They're not going to stay little. Where are we going to put a kitty litter? Just the whole 9 yards, right? And I just anything like that. So we come back home, we leave, and we're like, yeah, we agreed and stuff like that. So it was maybe a week later, okay, we're just like laying there, and let's see, I went and I was going through like my apps or something that was on my phone, and it was called Nextdoor. And so it's a Nextdoor system. It's like one of those things to where you pull up in your neighborhood, and like you either like, it's kind of like the social media site like FB or TikTok or something like that, and you're like chatting back and forth, like messaging. You can talk back and forth, or you can look at their posts, like if they have anything. And so I was like, yeah, I went and got on here when you were looking for kittens, and I was just looking to see if they had any free kittens, right? And so he didn't really like that I had the Nextdoor on there, just because our neighborhood's really, you know, kind of scary. And like, I wouldn't act on it anyways without consulting him first, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, he gets on Craigslist and he pulls up this picture of this kitten. And I was like, okay. And it was posted like 5 minutes ago. So I hurried up and I texted the person, because I was like, okay, he wants a kitten. We should just probably get one, because I need something to chill with when I'm home, because I'm alone when he's like at work, because he works a lot of hours, like almost every day. So I was like, yeah, I think we can handle it. So I text the person. I says, do you still have the kitten? They said yes. And I says, can we come and pick it up tomorrow? And they said yes. And I says, okay, this is what we look like. I sent him a picture of me and my man. It's the same picture that's in my profile, my TikTok profile, and actually all my profiles on all my social media sites. And so I was like, yeah, we're a safe couple, so yeah, please save him for us. We'll be up there tomorrow, because I had like a doctor appointment first, and then we're going to go up there. So that's what happens. We went up and we got this kitten, and it was so cute, because I went and picked it up, and the person came out and he had it wrapped in one of those microfiber rags, you know, like a fluorescent green one. And she was so tiny, and she's the gray tabby one that we have, right? And I was like, okay. And I held her close. I had her like this, and then and my man's like reaching, because he wants to like grab onto her too, and he's like, I want to meet her. I says, just a minute, give her a minute, because we don't want to traumatize her, you know. So I walked her over to the vehicle, and I sat in the driver's side. And then my man was also on the driver's side, because he opened up the door for me. And when she seen him, she went, shh, and she hissed at him, right? And it was so cute, but, you know, I was like, she hissed at you. So he gets in the vehicle, and he goes, okay, can I hold her now? And I'm like, yeah, I can't really drive and hold her. And I was like, well, she hissed at you, so be careful. And so he grabbed her, and he was like holding her, and she, like, they bonded, because it was like a 2-hour drive, right? I think it was like maybe 2 hours. Yeah, because of traffic. It was a 2-hour drive anyways, there and then back. So it was a 4-hour journey. She bonded with him so much. I mean, like, so much. I even have that on videos. I videoed the whole thing. You know, not the entire thing, but I videoed it. She went down the sleeve of his shirt and went into the back of his shirt. And it was just so cute. I have videos on it. He's the one that gave her first bath. He's the one that gave her first meal when she got here. And her purr was so loud. It was adorable. And so they're so attached. She's so attached to him, my man, that if I touch her, she'll literally go and move away. She's so funny. She only lets him, like, touch her and whatnot. So I try to win her over with treats and stuff sometimes, but it's not always a win, because as soon as he walks in the door, she's like back loyalty into him, which is awesome. So 3 weeks go by, and I'm like feeling kind of lonely. I'm like, this cat doesn't like really want to bond with me, so I'm like, I don't have a kitty. So his sister, my man's sister, posted up like 3 weeks later. The threes, right? 3 weeks later, she posted up on Facebook, and she says, this kitten, we thought it was a rock, and it came walking up to us, and it's just so tiny. I mean, his paws were burnt from the cement because she lives in Southern California, and the degrees up there gets like 115 degrees. So either he got kicked out of the litter. I mean, when you meet him, you'll know why. I would think that he either got kicked out or he wandered off, which he would have wandered off too. So he's a very, very curious individual kitten. And it was on Normandy Day that they found him, right? So she brings him in. He had an eye infection so bad that she thought that he was going to lose his eye. He had mites in his ears, mite debris, he was in really, really, really bad shape. I mean, he was a skeleton, basically. He was like, he needed, but she brings him back to help. And then she's posting up, saying, like, even locally saying, found this kitten. If you're missing a kitten, here's the kitten. You can come and get whatever. Nobody answered it. And then even on Facebook, she was like talking about, the kitten and whatnot. And at first I didn't grab onto it because I was like, well, if the kitten's sick, I don't want to make the kitten that we have sick, right? So I was thinking if I ever got a white cat, I'd want it to have blue eyes and like red, like albino, tiger stripe, white with tiger stripes on it. So it'd be like a tabby, but white, right? I even told my man that. And so this kitten didn't look like that at all. And it's not why I wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to make sure that the right people got their kitten back. So I didn't say anything. So a few days go by and I told my man, I said, hey, if she can't find the owner for the kitten, we're coming up there anyways. Tell her that I want it. And so he told her, that. And she's like, kitten's yours. And I was like, yay. So then I get up there and I meet him. He's got these little speckles and he just looks like he's just like beat up. And we brought him back, and he is now got a big body and a little head, and sometimes I call him Shirley. But he's smart. Like one time I was like, come here, bud, come up here with mama. And he shook his head no. He went, because he just wanted in. And I looked at my man and I said, did you see him shake his head no at me? And he's like, mm-hmm. I was like, whoa, these cats are so smart. But yeah, that's why I call him Shirley. So usually when a familiar comes, like, to you, they choose you, or someone gives them to you or whatever, like your spiritual kitten. So that's what I think happened, was that he was Shirley in my dream, and then he came, and now he's with me. So that's my story about my kitten. And he's over there being yeah. So he was like 5 weeks or 4 weeks when she found him. And then by the time we got him, he was like 7 weeks old. And then we took him to the vet as soon as we got here. And altogether, the kittens have cost us, which isn't a big thing, but, we've spent $1,000 on them or more, because they need food. And not only do they need food, they needed their shots. So, time to put, I could probably do cupcakes, but I don't have cupcake paper, so I'll pass on that. And that's my banana bread pan. So before I do this, it's those darn fruit flies that are just really annoying. That's why I gotta get these bananas out of the way. Okay, let's see what it says to do. Combined cake mix, water, oil, eggs, we know that, 350. What do we, spray and flour. A little bit of Pam, right? There. A little bit of Pam and a little bit of flour. But I gotta wipe this off. And I just use a 9-inch pan. Simple, simple, simple. And then I'll do a little, because I don't like too much grease, right? Yeah. Hallelujah. Ooh. I hope we have enough flour for banana bread. And then I just do this, tap on it, right? I'm sure you all do the same thing. And then that way, it covers it up. Maybe a little more. Take me to the river. And they say, let's have a little fun, you know. Be like, no, don't come out of the pan. Don't be making no mess. So if I pat it, and it seems to like want to move, and if I get it on the counter, that's fine. Usually I do it over the sink, but because I'm showing y'all what I do for content, I'm doing it like this. And I'm going to put it over the sink. I'm going to tap the bottom and voila. I might not have enough flour for that, so I might have to wait for my man to get home so he can go across the street and get me some flour. So of course we're going to do what we do. Put it in. Right. And it says, don't lick, don't eat the batter. Because it's got that egg in it, right? So I don't. Get my favorite little spatula out. This one, it's a flexible one. So anyway, scoop it out. Scoop it out. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. So then, see, this is a cool little spatula because it just, you know, scoops out it all. like to get every little back drop. Little last drop. Little last drop. See, because for the banana bread, I need 1.5 cups. I'm sorry, I probably do them. 1.5 cups of flour. So I probably do have enough. Yippee-yay, motherfucker. Yippee-yay, okay. So let's just play with it. Ooh, look at it, so flexible and stuff. Look at it bounce. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Don't want to make ourselves sick. We're not going to do that. So 350 degrees. So we're going to do that. Moved my little Magic John right there. Put it in the center rack, of course. Put it in the center. Push it back. Remember back in the day when they're like, no jumping and running in the house. I have a cake in the oven. You're gonna ruin my cake. I don't think they make cakes like that anymore. Switch it back up here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to move these pans. Actually, I'm going to move the potatoes. Oh, my kitty cat, he's back there just having a little nappy nap. Gotta wash that too. Put that there and put these over here. And we're gonna wash this bowl. Let's see. Put it here. Huh. Everything is content. Yeah, so I really dig TikTok, and I'm so glad that President Trump saved TikTok. And I'm also happy that he's back on. Hello. All right. That was a lot of power. Get on there. I don't want to hear any sass from you. And I didn't vote for either one of them, so. Because I figure it's going to happen the way it's going to happen anyways, regardless, so. I don't really believe all that voting, fair voting stuff. I really don't. For the most part, I believe it's just rigged. And of course it's rigged, probably from both sides. But, you know, I'm going to honestly say that I feel that the Democrats really made some seriously bad decisions. I mean, there's people that like talk about the Bible and what's in the Bible, right? So, I know both ends of it. I'm going to put this over here on the banana since we're going to be making banana bread. And it's like the world's going to end in, and I say the world as we know it will end. It's not going to end for everybody. It's as we know it. So you got to like look outside of the box with all that. So the world's going to end in perversion and gays and fires and stuff like that. Well, isn't that what's been going on? Pedophilia. Isn't that what's been going on? So, like I said before, they're called scriptures because they're scripts, right? And what does Hollywood do? They write scripts and then they act it out. So it's not so much, and it could be, that the Bible says things are going to happen, so it's psychic or whatever. Whoever wrote it was a god, so it's psychic. But then you gotta also think that the people that are reading that mumbo jumbo, which there's mumbo jumbo in every religion, mumbo jumbo, they know it's there, so they're going to be like, well, let's make this believable, so let's create it. That would be more of the Democrat side, in my opinion. Now, the politicians, they get a lot of money. They can't afford to give us health care, right? I came from Utah. Utah is a state that's mainly ran by the LDS, right? The LDS Church. You know, if you're a member, you get some type of benefits, whatever. But that's just kind of like join our cult and you can get this, this, and this. It's kind of like everything becomes a cult, you know, like Antifa, that would be a cult. All these gangs, you know, they're cults. Culture, that's a cult. C-U-L-T, that's the first 4 letters of culture. So of course they're going to make stuff happen. Especially now that the media is, everybody can write a story, so they're going to make it happen. You know, like all those Simpson things that they say, oh, let's go on the Simpsons. Look, the Simpsons said this. And then you're like, that wasn't even a show. They never had that on as an episode. It was like people just doing AI stuff because there's a lot of people out there that will just believe it because it's there and they don't really do the research. But I've dived into a lot of the different religions and stuff like that just because I want to know what to debunk or what not to debunk or what matches up with mine. And I've done that my whole life, so it's not like I just started it because it was a fad. But I'm glad that there's a fad out because it gets people like, no, that's not what it is. And then you get the ones that go in there and they investigate it and stuff. And before, if you're investigating that stuff, they're going to call you a Nazi. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about the Vikings movie. Even though there was a lot of different things, like maybe the way they dressed and stuff like that, blah, 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 it still turned the page on something new and refreshing. Yeah. So that is for that. Now we are going to wait for this cake to bake, and it's supposed to bake for come on now, like 35 minutes, right? Because I've been talking for about 5 of those, so about 30 minutes we'll check on it. But while we're checking on it, guess what we can do? You want to see something funny? The frosting for the cake, I already got into it. But there will be enough to put on the cake. But I hadn't had anything sweet in a long time, and I just got this sweet tooth. So I had Ritz crackers Ritz crackers I have my retainer in. So I had Ritz crackers and I put like chocolate frosting on top of the Ritz crackers. It was so funny. So while we're waiting for that to bake, which should be done in, we'll check it at 1 in half an hour. Let's go down and get the packages. And my kitten's taking a nap. You want to say hi since you're such a flirt? Hi. We're gonna go down and get packages, bud. We'll be right back, okay? Let me be right back. Oh, my nose itches. So yeah, as soon as that cake's done, when we get back, we'll check to see if there's enough flour to make banana bread. And it's my favorite recipe, the one that I use. My eyes are trippy today because I have it on this filter. It's one of those eye filters. It's one of those eye filters. Change that look zombie-ish. Election. So they have an election coming up. So they have an election coming up here in California, but I don't think it's, so they have an election coming up here in California, but I don't think it's, anything. Who's that for? 350, front desk. Front desk, okay. Three packages today. We'll open 17 first. It's gonna be over here. So we have this package. These are all TikTok samples. Once you become an affiliate, you can put in for samples and then you can get samples too. But I put in for a lot of supplements and skincare. And pet stuff. But yeah, I've been getting, yeah. Go back, open number 24. It's gonna be over here as well. Here's number 2. Oh, it looks like another pet lab. Oh yeah. These are pet teeth cleaning finger wipes that I'm gonna try out, sample, and do videos on. Come on, waiting for you. Knock, knock. It takes a minute. Okay, so go back. Number 50. It's gonna be like right here. Okay. Oh, there's much in there. All right, we're gonna shut this door. And that should be good. And then we'll head back up and open up the packages. Come on. Come on. I'm waiting for this to knock. Takes a while. All right. Go back, no packages, go back. And for the next person. Okay. We got a delivery. I have a delivery person trying to get in. Hi, are you trying to get in to deliver?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
You're welcome. See, so they deliver a lot. Let's just wait, just in case that's another one that we need to pick up. Just see if I get a notification. I can always come back. Really, I just wanted to wait until this person got in the elevator because I don't want to get in the elevator at the same time as anyone else. Too safe these days. Too safe these days. Okay, we're back at the apartment. Hi, love. Mama's home. Mama's home. Mama's home. He's just making sure Mama's okay. Okay, so we have a pet lab. And I'm not sure what this is, and then we'll open that. So let's get the other stand. My kitties, I'm allergic to them, but I love them, so I'm not gonna do anything. My son's gonna call me probably around 2 or 3 because his birthday's today. I'll repeat that. And see, he's over here to help me open them. So he's a helper, my little one. And because he has to work tonight at 4, he's working the night shift, so he works at 4. So, we're going to do this one. Let's see what this is. So these are samples that came. From the TikTok shop. Revive. Age is just a number, it says. So let's see what it is. I know that I put in for a mouth guard, so this could be the mouth guard, so I don't grind my teeth at night. Oh, no, that's not what it is. So it's oh, it is. Revive 1. So this is so I don't grind my teeth at night. And what's really bizarre and actually pretty awesome is that I went to the dentist, right? And the dentist says, do you grind your teeth at night? And I was like, I don't know, I'm sleeping. And so she's like, yeah, I get it. And she's like, but you do, I can tell. So in order for you to stop doing that, you might want to get a mouth guard, and we can give you a sample, and then you can, you know, purchase one if you want, whatever. And then it's like so funny. So I don't know if, like, TikTok live, when you're on TikTok live and you're talking about stuff and you're like talking about like mouth guards and stuff like that, well, it came up as an invite, like it came to me, you know. So it comes in this case here, and it comes in this cool little case right here. So this is a mouth guard, so you don't grind your teeth, and it probably helps with snoring. I'm not sure. Ha. Look at that. I mean, that's kind of a bag, right? Okay, there's no way I'm gonna be able to grind my teeth at night with this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I get it. Here you go. And it comes in a cute little case like this. In a cute little container like this. And it looks lovely. So I'll try this out tonight when I'm sleeping. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in here. Pretty nifty. I rinsed it off. And it's got a magnet, so it's got this cool little case that comes in a magnet. That is awesome. I really like that. That's groovy. And it comes with this here, a little manual. Shows a little person sleeping. So we'll just keep this all together. Put that in there and voila. Let's check the cake. So I don't check it with a knife. I check it with a spaghetti noodle. I just take off, since I don't have any toothpicks, I just take a spaghetti noodle, a hard one. And then I'll open it up. Give it another 3 minutes. Oh, and I got the other half over here. The other half of the spaghetti noodle. It doesn't matter, I break them all in half anyway. So we'll just wait for this cake to do its thing. Like my shirt's cute, huh? Yeah, my man got it for me the other day. So I grew out of all my shirts. I'm much bigger now because, you know, we glass them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stuff over here, because I'm not going to frost the cake until after it cools. So let's put the frosting back up here. We can now throw this in the garbage. I'm going to need these measuring things here. And that bowl, I'm going to use the same bowl to do the banana bread. Kind of splitting at the top. Still a little wet. Wait. So for the banana bread, I'm gonna need 3 to 4 bananas. I used 5 one time and it was just too much. I'm not gonna do 5 again. So 3 to 4 bananas, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I did 3.5, no, 2.5, and then 2.5, I could do 2, but I don't have enough flour to do 2. So we're gonna do the 4 banana trick. So we're gonna do 4 bananas. And then I need, where is it? Oh, the sugar is 1 cup, the egg is 1 egg, and then we have butter is 4 tablespoons of butter, soft butter, melted butter. Flour is 1.5 cups of flour, baking soda 1 teaspoon, and salt 1 teaspoon. And I have it up here on the, I have it memorized, but I'd rather just have it on a piece of paper so that, yeah. So we're gonna bring the bowl back over. That's what we're gonna do. We have a small place, so we don't really have a lot of room to put stuff. So we store our pans on here, and then I have like a big Tupperware bin that I have the other ones in, because we have more pans and I like to use stuff, and I don't want to just condense down into a very small amount, because if I condense down to a very small amount, then I might not have the pan that I need. But I did get rid of a couple pans that we don't need, because we were going to do that anyways when we moved into a new apartment. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to pretend that that's what we're doing. I'm going to get organized so that when it is time to move, we can just go. Still got some on it. But if I distract myself and start doing something else, then I'll totally just forget about it. If anybody wants to follow anybody that's in here, you can see anybody's in here, then just go ahead and follow that person. And then that person, give that person a follow back if you're in here trying to grow your following. Because you can do that. I allow people to do that in my rooms. It's like communicate back and forth, you know, say add me or grow with me, or, you know, like just add people whenever you're in, you know, just say, hey, I got you, follow me back. But there's a lot of like words that the TikTok can pick up, and they don't like grow rooms. So I'm not trying to get banned. So I'm not trying to do a grow room, but I'm trying to be a little conspicuous about it. So yeah, so just like comment, like follow somebody and then tell them that you followed them, and give them a week, and if they haven't followed you back, then unfollow them. Because in here we want engaging besties, and that's one of the words that they picked up. So it says bestie for bestie. If you say that, then TikTok's going to be like, oh, we're not going to throw you out because you're a grow room. If you say FOLLOW, then it's going to say the same thing. So you got to get creative, you know, like add me, add you, or the F for F, you know, F for F. You can put that together and know what that means. Yeah. So is anybody in here looking to grow their following list? Like, are you looking for people to follow and have follow back? Well, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. Not even kidding. And then if you would shoot me a daily heart me, that would help push my lives out to the FYP. That would be great. And then I can come over in your lives and do the same thing for you. Because it'll tell me who did and who doesn't, who did. And then it shows whoever's in the live. And it also shows how long a person's in the live for. So, just fine. I just scroll too, and I just see lives, and I just scroll. I don't really, I'm like, oh, okay, this one, I'll come back to this one or this one. This is probably one of those lives that people are going to be like, oh, you know, it's kind of a little boring. She talks a little slow. And a little slow. All right, I think that's done. I don't even need that. But I do need my other this, and I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. It's not done. Yeah, that's not done. It would help if I turned the oven back on, right? That's all I need to do is screw up my son's birthday cake. Screw it up, screw it up. Okay, so I'm going to do this. While we're waiting for that, we're going to open up more packages. Here's the next package. This here is also in my showcase. That tapestry of Freya that's right here behind me. That's me. See the resemblance? That's me. But yeah, you can get that tapestry as well in my showcase. And there's also a video on my page that has a link to it. If you can't find that, then I'll link this one in. There's going to be a link in this video for the tapestry that's on the wall back there. Also, you can just go look it up in my showcase. But Christmas is coming, man. Yule's coming. Whatever you celebrate, you know. So we open that one. This one says intake breathing. Interesting. I don't remember putting in for a sample, but I'm sure I did. So let's find out what it is. It comes in this beautiful clear packaging. It's elegant. Sounds fun, right? Oh, that's right. So it says intake breathing stuff to where you put it on your mouth if you're a snorer. I snore sometimes, and I've never really snored before until I got up here to San Francisco. And my doctor says it's probably because of different kind of allergies that I'm around. So it goes like this, and then you peel this off in the back, and then you tape it to your mouth at night. How fun does that sound, right? So, what about the nose? Now, I do remember putting in the sample for this, right? I do remember. So I'm going to give these a try and see if it helps, because my man, he tells me I snore, and that's funny. But I have a what's that called? One of those sleep apnea machines. Yeah, I'm sexy when I'm sleeping. I got my tape on my mouth. I got my mouth guard in. And I have a snorkel on. But yeah, so that's the intake. Tape comes in this little bin thing. It's all nice and tidy. Yeah, intake. I'll have a link in this video. All right, let's go get that. We're gonna get it out in the oven. See, the top of it was like that, and it was like kind of like jelly at the top. And then what my man does is, so we don't have that, this mound going up like that. We just get a plate. Press it down. And then we just wait for it to cool. So that's our little cake today. Put that on top of it like that. That way those little fruit flies can't get on it, right? So now we're gonna put you back up here. So we're gonna do banana bread. So we're gonna have to put you back up here. Right? Into the bowl. Into me. Okay, so we need that flour. That feels like 1.5 cups, because that's what we need, is 1.5 cups of flour. So what I start with is I use one of these to mash the bananas with, okay? So that's one of my little secret tools that I use. And then this, of course, is to swoop it out of this pan. So what I start with is the bananas. So we're gonna do 4 bananas, okay? See, they're nice and ripe for banana bread. The other bananas I can probably just put in, so if I'm gonna do 4, that's actually 2 big bananas. I'm not gonna do 5 again. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the 4, and then I'm gonna save this banana for like cereal. But I just wanna get it out of the way of these fruit flies. Are really driving me freaking nuts. So, hold on, I gotta wash my hands. I almost didn't wash my hands. Get my shoes. Dry my hands off. I'm not going to be touching anything with my hands anyways, but except for the bananas. Ugh, fruit flies, go away. Please don't come back another day. Fruit flies, you're not invited. Just throw the pills in the sink until we need ya. Need ya, sleeze ya. Amnesia. See? I can rap. That's a rap. I'm a wigget. Wigger. Did you just say wigger? I sure did. So you just mash the bananas, right? Mash the bananas. Can you see that? I'm sorry. Mash the bananas. With the potato masher. 4 bananas, ripe bananas. It's fun. So you want to put all the liquids in first. All the liquid stuff first, because bananas turn into a liquid when you mash them. Today's my son's birthday. He's going to be calling me on FaceTime before he goes to work tonight at 4. So I'm making him a chocolate cake, and as soon as that cools, I'm going to frost it. And then me and my man is going to have some cake later as well when he gets home, but he's going to be at work still when my son calls me. So he works 10-hour days, 10-hour shifts, Monday through Friday, and then sometimes half a day on Saturday. So I've got to do something to keep myself busy because we're the traditional home. I finally found a man that likes the traditional home because I like the traditional, to where, you know, woman works at home, which I'm not saying ever is for everybody. But, you know, the man works outside, he's the provider, he brings it in, the woman cooks it up, and then sometimes he cooks, and then I work on the internet. I sell stuff like I'm doing here because I'm a very productive person. And before I met him 3 years ago, I was basically working in landscape places. I was a shuttle driver. I did Uber and Lyft for 3+ years. I worked in manufacturing, I worked in warehouses, I've had my own gardening business, I've had my own maid cleaning business, I was an entertainer for 20+ years. So I've used my body, but not that kind of an entertainer and using my body that way, but I've like been acrobatic and athletic and stuff, right? So you see how those bananas just kind of turn into liquid? Yeah. And leave some little chunkies, right? We're gonna get 1 egg. And when we get into a place to where I can have a bigger counter space, then that's when I can have like all my recipes out and stuff like that when I want to do a recipe day. So see, here's the egg, bloop, the whole thing, not just the whites or the yolks, right? So I have my little paper towel back here. Let me plug this in. So then I like to mix each item in as they go in, so I know that they're in there. Okay, so now I'm going to get the butter. Now you can use whatever butter you want to use, but it needs to be soft butter. So we just have Country Crock. It seems to do the job. I'm not on one of those diets to where I'm like vegan or anything, so neither is my man. So I don't diet shame anybody. What you eat is what you eat, and those who do diet shame other people because they have allergies to food, that's really unfair. So my body likes what it likes, but with salt intake, the human body only needs 1 teaspoon of salt its entire lifetime. My doctor said, so every time you go to add salt, always remember that teaspoon of salt. Your entire lifetime, that's as much salt that you should or not even eat that much, but that's enough. So a teaspoon, and a teaspoon is this. In my lifetime, I've eaten probably a lot more salt than that, but I didn't know that. So now I do, and so I've actually felt a lot better since I've changed that habit of having the salty fries or the fried food and stuff. And I still love fried food, and I still love my food, but what I do now is I just really don't salt it unless it really needs the salt, because there's already salt in everything, like there's sugars. So that's 1. See how I'm just kind of scooping it in here? It's really all you need to do. It's a tablespoon. So 4 of these, 4 tablespoons of soft butter or melted butter. See how I spin that out? Whoop, whoop. And I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to get 2 more because it calls for 4 of these is whatever. I think it's a 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. So that's why it calls for a 1/4 cup, because I don't have a 1/4 cup, one of these, or a cup there to do it that way. I looked on Google and I said, okay, well, how many tablespoons is a 1/4 cup? And it said 4. So yeah, just put that in there. So I got 4. So I got 4 bananas, 1 egg, and 4 tablespoons of soft butter. I'm done with this, so now I'm going to put it in the sink. And I always wipe pans because we don't want it to be on the rims, you know what I'm saying? Then I just kind of put that back there. So I'm going to put this back in the fridge so it's not a bit cluttered. And let's pull out the baking soda, because we need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And what's funny is it needs 1 teaspoon of salt as well. 1 teaspoon of salt is all you need your entire lifetime. And I'm like, yeah, I plan on eating this entire. But I would think that, yeah, that's interesting, huh? Okay, so here's the baking soda. Baking soda. We're gonna just add that in there. Choppity choppity. Don't get rid of this because you can eat it for salt. Put this back in the fridge. Now, time to go get the salt. It's a real simple recipe. See, now I'm just pouring. Whoop. I got a little bit more than I should, so I'm going to put it back in here, and I'm going to. So 1 teaspoon of salt. And I don't need this no more, so I'm going to put this in the sink with the other one. I'm going to move this up here. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to mix that in, that butter, right? And the salt and the... Get out of here, fruit flies. There's no more fruit. There's no more fruit. Here, I'm going to hide this. I'm going to hide it from them. Fruit flies can be so annoying. But it's just protein. I mean, we've all inhaled bugs. You can't say that you haven't, because you go on walks, right? And you don't have a mask on, and you're just breathing and you're talking and you're running and you're... And then there's like this swarm of mosquitoes, little tiny little mosquitoes, or little teeny flies. but only the person far away can see it because of the light, but you're like running and so you can't see it because you're that close. When you walk in, you just totally just inhale a bunch of bugs. And if you ride a motorcycle and you don't wear a mask, you're gonna get bugs in your mouth too. Four-wheeling, all that stuff, you're on the boat, so you can't say that you've never eaten a bug. Bug eater. See, I don't have any nuts to put in here, so no walnuts and no none of that. I know. It tastes good to have that in there, right? Okay, so get the sugar out, and I need 1 cup of sugar. So let's grab the sugar. 1 cup. No more bananas, because I can't do these fruit flies no more. They're driving me nuts. And the apples, I just put the apples in the fridge. So here's a cup of sugar. I like to sprinkle it in. Put that over here because we're going to use that same measurement cup for the flour. Let's just go ahead and stir that in, so it's all mixed in there well. It's really runny. See how it's really runny? Well, it won't be runny once we put the flour in. And to me, it feels like there's just enough flour for 1.5 cups. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip this bag in way low. Way low. Swing, swing low. You don't have to pack it in. Here's the cup. So we're gonna put the cup in. Now, we all know what a 1/2 cup is. So you can go in and trust yourself and make this a 1/2 cup, or you can actually get the 1/2 cup one here. So let's just go ahead and get the 1/2 cup one here, just because I want to be for sure. And see, there's like this much left. So kind of put that there to the side. Shake that thing. There's a 1/2. We'll put that in. Voila. So now I'm done with all this. Recheck the recipe, make sure I'm not forgetting anything, and I'm not. So this is going to go in at 325 degrees. But we'll get to that. I always put my flour in like a baggie because you know how messy it can get. Because I don't have one of those containers, and even if I did have one of those containers to hold flour in, I don't have the counter space anyways, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna stir this flour into this. And you'll see that it gets a really good texture. And the way I do this banana bread, I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna try it this way. I got the recipe off the internet, and then I just kind of like didn't make any changes. I just didn't go like exactly the way they do it, because they say 3 bananas and then, you know, put the bread in, like the batter in just the pan, just a non-stick pan. Don't grease it, but I grease it with Pam. I still grease it. I don't put the flour in it. I put the grease in it, the Pam spray, not a lot. And then it cooks, and then I let it cool, the banana bread, after it cooks, after it's baked for 1 hour. It's got to be 1 hour. And then you take it out, you let it cool inside the pan that it's in, right? And it's this pan here. So it is a 9-inch by, is it 3-inch? Hold on. So it's a nonstick pan. Hello? Hello, Monroe, are you in there? So it's a 9-inch by 5-inch. So 5 inches this way, 9 inches this way. Non-stick pan. And it's a loaf pan for bread loaf. Yeah, so we're gonna get this all stirred up. I'm gonna stir it up the best we can with this because we gotta get it in there, right? With this little tool that I love to use because it's great for mashing potatoes and stuff. You know, why have a huge blender if you really don't need it? And then I get this, my flexible spatula. I love it. And then that way I can get it all up on the sides like this. And then I stir it, make sure it's all stirred in. All of it on the bottom, all of it on the sides. So I'm going to set the oven at 325. We're going to move the cake. I'm going to put the cake on top of the toaster. But it's still warm, so I got to get the hot pads. All right, we're just going to put the cake we just baked on top of the toaster for now because I don't have a lot of space. Put the hot pads back up on here. Just gonna throw all that in there. That's mixed up the way it's gonna be mixed up for the banana bread. Now I'm gonna spray this. Even though it's non-stick, I get the pan. And I spray the pan. Sometimes there's too much, okay? So then you take a paper towel, so make sure you have paper towels. So you can take the paper towel and you can wipe the edges, right? So that's not greasy. But just kind of wipe around, make sure it gets into all the edges on the side. It's still gonna be greasy. You're not gonna be wiping it out, so don't wipe it out. Just wipe it around. But that's what the other recipes on the internet are not, they don't do that. This is how I switched this one up, and it turns out freaking awesome. So then, of course, you add it to the pan. Woo! Try to turn it so you can kind of see. That's why I like the spatula, because you can go like this and it just cleans it right off. See the sides? I usually don't make a mess, but because I'm trying to do some kind of a demonstration for content, it's a little messy. I can get a little messy sometimes. No, we all can. But as long as you like clean as you go, you shouldn't have any problems. Fucking goddamn fruit flies, get out of here. Get, I'm not a fruit. I'm not a fruit. That's a hate crime. I have to call the bug authorities. Tell them that you just insulted me and you're trying to assault me. I'm talking to the gnats. Okay, the fruit flies. So here it's ready to go in. Banana bread. Put it in the center rack. In the center. La-di-da. And then I have to Hold on one moment. Let me see if she'll do it. Siri. Siri. Hey, Siri. Hold on one moment. Siri. Hey, Siri. Hold on one moment. Don't. Okay, I'm back. I just set the alarm. Now I need to get those dishes done. Bring this over here. Throw this in the garbage. As long as you clean as you go, you don't really make a mess. You just keep it simple. Only use the tools that you need. You know, with me living in a studio apartment, you know, it's just easier to just clean as you go. You know, dinner's done, clean the dishes. Cooking's done, clean the dishes. And I use these rags. This is only the second one in like a 5-month period because they don't like hold bacteria and stuff in them. And it's not scratchy, so it doesn't scratch your plastics and your stuff unless you're pushing really hard, right? But I have those also in my showcase, and those sponges just carry a lot of bacteria. And I'm not trying to have a bacteria infested. Just kind of use the bowl as a little dish. I just got one seed. Dawn, of course, takes all that butter and grease and slimy stuff away in like first whack instead of the dish is taking so long. It's like sometimes dishes just take a long time, and the reason why is because we're using the wrong soap or the wrong materials to clean them. So I'm gonna call you in a little bit, my son says. Okay. It's his birthday. Let me know. Let me know. We're gonna do a FaceTime today. Because it's his birthday. We should FaceTime more often anyway, but we're busy people. We're busy. The Democrats have got us working our arses off for nothing. And then for those of us that can get, you know, jobs. But there's going to be a lot more of us that are going to be able to get jobs now that ICE is handling stuff. And I'm not against it. You know, things get exaggerated. We're not there to see what's really going down, but hey, I know I lost a few jobs because of that, and I know I've been on a few jobs and have been threatened by, you know, a group of people that are much shorter and darker than me, and they don't want me there in that warehouse working. They don't like me. They don't like any Americans in there. But yet they're in America working. So, yeah. Unless you've experienced it, then you can't say anything about it. I mean, it is freedom of speech, but, I mean, do you really want to look like an idiot? Want to sound like an idiot? Most of these people that are against it are either too young to understand or they're live sheltered lives. Or they don't know what really is going on. So, I really need to invest in some more hand towels because this is a lot of paper towels that I'm using. Okay, so let's open up this last item. So this is from Pet Lab Co. It comes packaged like this. These are the samples I get from the TikTok shop, from brands that want to collab with me. And then I do some videos, some commercial videos, some ad videos for them. And they're happy and we're both happy and it's great. It's like one of those, like wearing a t-shirt. You're a walking billboard, right? So this here is Pet Lab Dental Finger Wipes. And my kittens are asleep right now, so they're for cats and dogs. They're asleep right now, so I don't want to bother them to wipe their teeth, but I will make a video. So it's Pet Dental Wipes. It comes that big. And you take one out. It's got stuff in there, right? And you put it on your finger, like a little finger glove, like this. And then you put it in their mouth and your dog or your cat, and you clean their teeth with it. It doesn't have like a mint smell or anything like that. But yeah, that's what what this is. So I think that's awesome. And I'm gonna put a link in this video. And as soon as they wake up, I'm going to try these out. And while I try these out on my kittens, I'll be videotaping. Okay, so hold on one moment. I'm gonna see if I can text my son while I'm on TikTok live still. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. Checking things out. Okay, so are you all familiar with grow rooms? This is not a grow room, but I do allow everybody to share each other's information that they want to share so that you all can grow your followings. So everybody, you know, add everybody that's in here. And I'm a GQ live host, so I've kind of like been doing my lives and whatnot the way I need to get them done for also my TikTok showcase. But also so that I can get a bunch of people in here growing their following. So that I can get a bunch of people in here growing their following. Like, if today's not a good time, then tomorrow or the next day, and I'm like, no, today works. Like, I really want to talk to you today. I baked a cake. It's his birthday. It's his birthday. Okay, well, I'm going to go for now. And I will be back in a little bit later today, or I will definitely be back tomorrow. But join me and we'll do some more stuff. And then follow me so I can follow you back. And then also, you know, you can inbox me as well, DM me, send me your lives so that I can come to your lives when you're on. And that will be great. But I will chat with you later. Please check out my wall, my page. Check out my videos. I've got some real cool ones in there, and I've got some true story, true crime that's about my life. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more about my life as I go. And just wanted to say ciao for now.